right, I'm trying to talk about, or let me put it this way. How do I talk about bash scripting in about 5 to 10 minutes? Apparently not. Okay, so let me just go straight to what this is about. So if you ever have to manage uh, maybe user level devices, or you ever have to manage even more advanced level, say your tier one support where you manage end users. It could be one end user, it could be hundreds end users, or you are have to manage maybe your level two support where you have to manage maybe access layer, distribution layer devices. Again, there could be one, there could be a couple, there could be hundreds. Or you are even a more senior support level where you have to create change request, seek approval for this change request, or even perform the change management yourself during the management approved downtime to limit outages and probably limit loss to your customers, right? So it becomes critical to manage how you perform this operation. So this is why I created this script. This script, for example, I have a lot of scripts that I created. Let me show you here. If I switch user here, if I switch user here, I have a lot of scripts that I created. If I do a vi Italian password.sh, this is one I created to check password policy. There's a whole lot of them. But the one I'm going to be talking about here, let me switch user back to this user here. All right. So I created this script, this particular one. This is what I want to talk about today. Like I said, there's going to be more videos to talk about different scripts and what they do. And this one specifically is to perform this task. Think about it. If you have to install the package, but after installation, you want to see whether the package installation was successful, completed. You want to see the directories where these packages were installed in case you need to go to the config file in the package, maybe add user, remove something, modify something, or you want the package to tell you the basic details of the package. Maybe you're performing investigation into something, or you're triaging something, or you're just looking at the kind of package that was installed. So all these critical needs, they are fundamentally what you need to do one after the other. Let me put it this way, right? Let me look at this package, RPM QA. I want to look at this package called corn shell, right? Corn shell KSH. Okay, it's installed, right? Now I want to see first of all, how many packages do I have installed on my computer? I have 1201. But for this KSH, I want to see information about the directories where it's installed. I could do my QC here and KSH. Oh, they are installed in /etc/bin/etc/KSH and all that stuff. And then I need to see where it's installed or the information about the package. I can do QI KSH. Oh, okay, this is it. Now, the question is this. As a sysadmin, you do not want to be losing 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there, 1 minute here, because you have to perform a repetitive task and you have to do it one after the other. This could literally save you 15, 20, 30 minutes accumulatively during the day, and you'll be a little bit more efficient person, and then you can spend the time that you have to do other more important stuff. So that's why I have created this bash script. So bash scripting is, we all know it's really good, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So looking at this script, right, it's going to accept user input here. So when I run the script, it's going to accept the user input for the package name. It's going to store my response here as a package name, and then it's going to call it anywhere you see the dollar package name is going to call the variable, right? Now, I created this function here because I do not want, now I want this information, all this information to be printed on the screen, either if it is called here when the package is already installed, because this part of the code is going to check my system to see if the package that I pasted here is already installed, right? Makes sense. So if it found the package installed, it's going to call this function and give me all this information. Either way, if it's not installed yet, it's going to go down and run this if else condition statement and perform, here it's going to come down here and perform this else part of the conditional statement. And if the installation is completed, it's going to also echo or print on the screen this information, right? So that's why we have this function here. It's better to have it in a function and call multiple times instead of having this block of code here and then have this block of code here. The page is gonna look too big and too ugly, right? Anyway, so after, like I explained before, this part of the code is going to check the system, make sure the installation is not already done. And then this part is, if it's not already installed, it's going to tell me it's not installed. And I like to comment my code, that way if anybody is looking at this code, they can know exactly what they're looking at or what it's going to do if it executes. So this part is going to accept my input, whether a yes or no. If I enter a no, this condition is going to break, and then it's going to come here and exit with error type 1 here. But if this condition, this is an OR operation, and you all know that for an OR operation, only one of the condition has to be true for it to be true. So if my entry here is a yes, as in yes, or yes as in y, it's going to satisfy this condition, and then it's going to come down here. Now, the DNF is a command that works with Red Hat Linux, Enterprise Linux. This yum works with CentOS, and this apt works with Ubuntu flavor of operating system. So it's going to come in here. If I use any other command that is not in any of these three, it's going to tell me the package installer is not found, and then it's going to exit with this error. But because this is a Red Hat distro, right? So it's going to come here, install this package, and come here and execute this after installation. So let me go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. So now, first of all, let me clear my screen. So because the package is already installed, remember, rpm qa pipe grep ksh, it shows that it's already installed. So I'm going to remove it. Now, in order to remove it, I created another bash script to remove packages. Instead of having to do it manually, it takes the package you want to install, it takes your response, whether yes or no. Like I explained before, it checks your response against this condition. If it matches at least one of this entry, it goes ahead and install it. And if your response is anything else other than yes or no, it's going to come here and say user about the installation process. Let me give that a shot. So if I come here and uninstall the package, I put the package name and I type in no here, it's going to tell me that I aborted the process. But because we really want to uninstall this ksh package, I'm going to go ahead and uninstall it. Type a yes or a y, either one. And then because I am executing this as a sudo user, I am putting the password, and it's going to come down here and clean the system from this package. Now, it's going to tell me the ksh has been successfully uninstalled, which is good, right? That's exactly what we wanted to do. Now, if I come here again, rpm qa, and check whether the ksh package is still there, it's not going to find it because it's been uninstalled, right? Now, our interest today is to check and install the package, right? Now, I'm putting ksh. This ksh could be anything. It could be bind for my DNS package. It could be an MTUI, whatever package you want to install. There are different ways to work with the code. So it's telling me to paste the name of the package. I just say it's ksh, and I put a Y here for it to go ahead and install it. Now, there's a part of the code I modified because it wasn't necessary for the installation process. I think somewhere around here, during the installation, somewhere here, I'm supposed to be prompted to either enter a yes to continue, but I know my computer has enough storage, so there's no need for me to accept that 3 megabyte is going to be installed, 3 megabyte of a package is going to be installed in the directory. I know all of that. I wanted it, so there's no need for me to allow any break here. And remember, the whole idea of automation is to skip redundant processes and go straight to the point. So that's why I modified the code. If you look here, I modified the code here and put a Y here. So this Y option here is going to make sure I don't get asked that question. All right, so now the package installed successfully, and like we want it to do, after installation, it checked the KSH installation directories and they are all installed here. So if I need to come to this directory, for example, modify this directory, I could do a VI and come here. Let me see if I have this copied. I can come here. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why this part of the code is there. So I can come here and modify this entry, but because we don't want to do that now, this is just explaining why this is relevant, this is important, right? And then here is the detail of the install packages. For me personally, I think this is really good because I want to see installed version, I want to see the release, I want to see the license, I want to see the size, I want to see the vendor, the URL. So all of these are really good. And then I want to see the package that controls the KSH command. So that is one of the beauty of this bash script. And I have a little bit more script here. If like I said, we're going to be talking about this later. Maybe check this out. Maybe we have new hires and we want to create users for new hires. So if I have 10, 15, 20 new hires, do I want to create one user after another using user hard, put them in a group, put them in a shell, give their details, create their user ID, or even give the directory, their home directory? I don't want to be doing all that manually. It's going to be boring. It's going to take time. It's inefficient. So that's why I created a group like this one here where it says, let me see, Italian, let me see, Italian users.sh. So this is another bash script that's going to create a group. We define a group here as variable. It's going to look and see if the group exists. If it doesn't, it creates it. We define a variable for their default shell. And this is not what we're talking about today, but I'm just saying that I created this script to make the work of an administrator super easy, right? So that's the bottom line. If you want to be performing a repetitive task, I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to post videos about, cron scheduling jobs and allowing things to happen based on schedule. But for now, we're just talking about how you as a system admin, feel free to, if you need the code, I can send it to you, or feel free to screenshot the screen and extract the code if this is what you think you would need at some point. But for sure, if you're working with a Red Hat Linux Enterprise version 9, I believe this code should also work with version 8. If the DNF doesn't work for you, you can use YOM as well. But that's exactly what it does. It simplifies the process of package installation. It cleans the system if the package is already installed, and it outputs some very important information regarding the installed packages. So yeah, I hope this video hasn't been too long. We'll see you again on the next one. I begin to